It will be a long recovery, but Khalid's family is thankful he survived. The 3-year-old was injured in an airstrike last week. Mustafa and Manar say they will never forget how they almost lost their younger brother. They desperately tried to pull Khalid from the rubble before rescuers arrived. A missile believed to be dropped by Syrian government planes destroyed their house in Marat Noman, an opposition-controlled town in southern Idlib.
The first missile hit while he was playing outside with the cat, and the second missile hit next to our house. Our house was destroyed and we couldn't see anything in front of us. We removed some blocks and found his head. That is when the ambulance arrived.
The Russian-backed Syrian government offensive in the northwest is entering its 9th week. Nearly 500 civilians have been killed in air and ground bombardment that has been targeting rebel-controlled towns in northern Hama and southern Idlib. Over 300,000 Syrians have fled the area and moved closer to the Turkish border.
This is Khan Sheikhoun town in southern Idlib. People fled due to intense bombardment by Assad's terrorist regime and the terrorist Russian occupiers. 120,000 people used to live here, excluding the displaced Syrians.
The World Food Programme says it is helping 200,000 displaced Syrians, but its operations have been interrupted in some areas because of the violence. Idlib is home to 3 million people, half of them already refugees from other parts of Syria.
WFP is racing against the clock to support all people with ready-to-eat food that doesn't have to be cooked in the camps and wherever they are, while we continue our regular operation and scaling it up to some 800,000 people every month.
The demands on aid are expected to grow. Thousands of acres of farmland have been destroyed in recent weeks. Many blame the Syrian government for deliberately targeting the fields, as they have done in past offensives, to punish those who live in rebel areas and force a surrender. The opposition has not surrendered. Rebels are holding ground. Hundreds of fighters on both sides have been killed along the front lines. 8 weeks of intense bombardment, and the pro-government side has taken little territory. The United Nations is warning the offensive is creating a humanitarian disaster. It has been calling on Turkey and Russia, guarantors of a ceasefire, to help revive the agreement. But for now, their proxies engage in battle to gain political leverage. Zana Khuder, Al Jazeera, Beirut.